We're back with part 2 of the Melbourne Pro Punters panel. We're here at Flemington ahead of Saturday's Caulfield Guineas meeting. A couple of little housekeeping things.
We're here at Flemington for the Caulfield Guineas, Juppy.
Are we? Going real well. Well, we're here for the Randwick Guineas then. Because they might as well transfer it here now. Getting ahead of myself. Couple of little housekeeping things. Tonight's the first game of the NRL.
All right, wow.
So we've got a friend of mine on board, Brendan Richards. He's a good NRL judge, so you head to One to Follow. You can get his NRL package, well worth it. And also, you've been doing a bit. Also, well, you can always head to One to Follow to get the Pots' plays for the stuff during the week. We just had one at Terang, didn't we, Pots? And there's a couple tonight at Pakenham, and you can also head there to get the midweek and the Saturday full sets for Pots' stuff. And also, Pots, you've been doing a little bit with Matty Taylor on a Friday, haven't you? In the past couple of weeks with the Group 1 stuff. You've just been doing a couple of little podcasts there. So we've sort of filled the void this week because we're recording a little bit later in the week, but when we get back to the Tuesdays, then I think you'll be doing those with the Group 1 meetings in mind, won't you? With Matty, the podcast. So they're well worth a listen. Yep. So head to One to Follow, and also I assume that there'll be some nice tournaments coming up with a couple of real good betting days coming up. So always pays to head to Top Better and get involved in the tournament.
Talking about things coming up, Juppy, like, you know, we don't want to have the viewers think they're going to have to put up with you and me every week on our own.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's potential. We've got a few really interesting guests coming up in the next little bit. So there's one out there, we won't say his full name, but Mick, if you're watching, come on, Mick, it'll be great. It'll be so enjoyable, I'm sure, for yourself and also for us, and I reckon the viewers would absolutely love it. Yeah,
we've got... I've got at least 3 in the pipeline that I'm working on, and we've just got to try and find a time that fits everyone, but I'm sure each one will bring something different, and each one will be thoroughly enjoyed by everyone who regularly watches the show. And a big thanks to everyone who's engaged on social media and that and said, "Where are you boys? We're hanging out for it." So that makes it worthwhile for us doing it. So we're here now, but we appreciate that, and we always love the feedback. And if you have got any questions, just fire them in and we'll do our best to answer them. We're always here. Doesn't matter. I'm at the picnics on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook too, and you can go to One to Follow on Facebook, add them on Facebook, and then you can whack the questions up there if you like. And also head to YouTube and like One to Follow, because that way you'll get an email letting you know that the show's been posted.
Yeah. And I'm not on Twitter because I don't have enough time to be, but anyone that wants to contact me either through Juppy's Twitter or email in the One to Follow, I always reply. Phil, I won't say his last name, but Phil from one of our good friends of the show, got in contact with me last week, and him and I have been talking about tracks ever since, so I'm always willing to communicate with anyone that makes the effort to get in contact with me.
Or if you're really keen, you can normally turn up at 12:30 on a Tuesday afternoon at the All Nations if you're that way inclined, and have 3 beers with us.
That's right.
What's one question we did get off Twitter was from @winningpunter1. He said, "What does the track look like for Flemington, and what do we expect?"
All right. Well, I've been out with the trusty pole, and it's a really interesting track. We're back in the true wind.
See that's I was a little bit surprised by that. I thought it might have been out a little bit and then go back to true for Super Saturday Pots, but I'm not questioning what Mick's doing. He's got Mick Goody. He's got far more idea than I do.
Well, I think Mick's plan is to have it true both meetings, Joffrey, and I think that'll be fine. The shear rating's so high it'll hold up. There won't be a problem.
You'll remember this. Was it true the first 2 days of the carnival?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's going down. Yeah. So he's going down a similar sort of path with the autumn carnival, which also helps us because it does give you the basis of. Like, it's similar weather conditions to sort of what we had in the spring, wasn't it? So
yeah, the difference is here though, in this time of year, that Kaikoura on the inside section grows incredibly strongly.
Yes.
So it's like the inside lane or two is different turf than the rest of the track. So that makes it a bit interesting to figure out. So
I've got one other question with that, Potts. That's a well-known problem that Mick's had for some time, and if you came out and had a look at the track, you'd be able to see that. So don't blow up on your show on Monday morning about it when that might happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, no matter how you do it, whether you come and do it yourself or you talk to someone else that has, you've got to have some understanding that every meeting's different.
Yeah.
The circumstances are different for every meeting. So the last meeting here, the rail was in the 9 metre position, and our subscribers knew that that got them very close to the irrigation lane, and that was going to be an advantage, and I played that way all day. So this time we're way back over to the inside, so the irrigation lane will only be a factor in the straight races. I would think they'll probably come down the irrigation lane in the straight races, although I wouldn't mind seeing a jockey try the inside, but they probably won't. They'll probably stay, because that's the first 3 races of the day are straight races.
Yep. You'd think it'd be the flying V pattern, wouldn't you, Potts?
Probably. So, probably, yeah. So wind from the southeast, so sort of almost from the city sort of thing.
Have we had any reply back?
No, we'll talk about the windsock when we find out.
Okay. We'll discuss that on next week's show.
Yeah, we will.
Hopefully by then we'll know.
And so around the circle, I went right over to the 1200 and come around. I was thinking I'd be happy being on the inside on this track, is what I was thinking. No massive advantage, but I was thinking I'd be happy on being on the inside as anywhere. And then as I got around to the 600 metre mark, there's a patch of new turf there that is a bit interesting. But it's been cut pretty tight, so I think that'll be okay. And into the home straight, I think they'll stay on the inside 6 lanes for sure. There's no way I can see them getting wider than 6 wide in the home straight. And if anything, I think the fence will be the best place to be. So, I'm not making a strong commitment. I don't want to watch some races, but I think the fence will be in play on Saturday. That's what I'm thinking.
It's a long way to come out to hit the irrigation lane when it's in true, isn't it, Potts?
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance of them getting out that wide around the circle jumping. Maybe if in a bigger field if you got shoved right out there, but I think the horses, I think the on-pacers will do pretty well in this card, Juppy.
Well, we'll have a look at a couple of races. Potts, race 6 is the, if you're allowed to have them, the Tab Reward Stakes. Top weight Kenjawood's 650 chance, he or she's 460. Hooked $8, Grand Rosso 6, Zabrin's 550, Sadaqua 850. They're the ones in sort of single figures. Looks a pretty even race, Potts. Well, it's a usual suspects.
It's one of these races, Juppy, where it's a really interesting clash of the horses that are going, the summer horses that are up and going okay. Like the Zabrinzes and the Grand Rossos and the like, clashing with the Resumers that have got better form, but you don't really, it's hard to assess how ready they are.
Yeah.
So, interesting race. Karani and Hooked will probably go furthest forward, clear of Grand Rosso and Sadaka. I'd imagine Kenjawood will be not urgent off a bit of a break. He might be, he could poke up there, and the rest of them sort of all going back a bit. The horse that really interests me here, Juppy, is Hooked. He's changed trainers and he's with Robert Smurden.
Okay.
And his most recent jump out was excellent.
And you were able to see that jump out, Potts?
It was an excellent Caulfield jump out, which we can get the vision of. So, yeah, very good. I think the tab might have put up $20 and he's into single figures. And, geez, if he's in order here, he could nearly start favourite. Like, it really depends. It'll take a stable, because, so I'm not sure, but I certainly think he's this is a horse that's run really well in like Doncasters and things like that, when he's at his best. So if he's anything like at his best, he's the horse to beat in this race. So the market will probably tell the final story close to the jump time, but I'd certainly want him on my side. Grand Rosso failed last start at 1600. That's because he fails every time he goes to 1600. He's a 1400 metre horse, and he's right back in play here on Saturday at 1400.
Yeah.
Kenjawood's capable. I'd be taking a leap of faith with him. So sort of, Zabrin's found his race to win last week, just chasing down Sadaka. So I'm not really considering Sadaka a chance here. So Zabrin's probably running on just behind them. They're really interesting runners, he or she. To be honest, I've got to do more work in this race. I've got to go and have a look at his jump outs. I haven't seen it yet. He's not really a first up horse, and I just would be surprised if he was fully wound up. And he's a bit of a get-backer, so of the Resumers I'd be more interested in Hooked, but maybe I might change my mind after I have a look at he or she's jump outs. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Race 7 is the Cadbury, Caulfield, Randwick, Rosehill, Port Adelaide, Hobart Guineas. Divine Prophet 950, Haydock's 340. There's not too many under single figures here, Potts. And did is the thing that I've backed. I took big odds earlier in the week. Furyk, is it going to make the field?
Yeah, it's in, isn't it?
Okay,
yeah,
14.
It's in the field. It's in the field.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky this race because there are emergencies, aren't there?
16 in and 3 emergencies.
Okay, so I mean something.
Yeah. And one of the emergencies is the Answer My Friend, who will be hard in the market if he gets a run, but I've sort of done the race with him out at this stage because he's not guaranteed to be in the field. So
where did he win pots?
He won at Sandown. He completely bowled it.
That's right. Yep.
And the horse that ran behind him ran okay yesterday. I think he's right in this race if he gets a run. I'll be very interested in him. So yes, interesting. So I'm ignoring the 3 emergencies for the moment. From a map point of view, Oak Door's drawn right out wide. Stablemate of the Answer My Friend. Maybe they'll maybe not different owners, so who knows. But anyway, he's going to have to roll forward from that wide gate. Legless Verve down on the inside, and Tension will come over on pace. Haydock and Prized Icon next, I'd say, and a big clump in the midfield there, a bunch of them. So really interesting race. Nearly all of these horses up in distance.
Yeah.
Just it'd be really nice to be able to find one here that had a hard 1600 metre run at their last start. You wouldn't care what sort of form they had, you'd want to back them. Yeah,
it wouldn't even matter whether it was Bendigo or somewhere like that if it had just been a...
So no current 1600 metre form. So you're trying to look for which one's got the best base to the cope.
Yeah.
So anyway, like Haydock picks himself as the starting point in the race.
Yeah.
He won the lead up. He put a hole in him.
Yep.
He raced well. He maps nicely again. You know, he's there. He is. He's at his right price. He'll probably drift a bit. They'll probably, he won't.
Just as the percentages come down.
Yeah, because he's 1400. He's rubber stamp. 1600. He's just a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit softer at 1600. So there he is. He's the starting point. But then so given that he's fairly tight in the market, there's some value around him. Attention's a horse I didn't have any real opinion of, and he come down here off a nothing run in Sydney.
Yeah.
It was just didn't help him at all, and he come into the Caulfield race that Oak Door won.
Yep.
And he ran nicely.
Okay.
And then he went in two weeks later. He went into the race last week, and there he was on pace, mixing it with Ecuador.
Yep.
And he's finished within half a length of Blackheart Bart and Toasting Stardom. It's an outstanding effort for a horse that really had no base,
And that's sort of proper Group 1 form. That's the next rung below the absolute champions. Like Blackheart Bart was running against Winx. Toasting Stardom, they think can win a big race. So
it's proper. They're
proper horses.
They're proper horses.
Yeah.
Now the issue with that race last week is it was slowly run early.
Okay.
Slowly run mid stages. They really did come home, but he's part of that. His last 800 is really good, so I think he's got a really good platform. He gets the advantage of the backup, and I think he's well and truly over the odds.
Yep.
The Snowdens get these things right time and time again. I can't believe he's double figures. Like you were reading through there trying to find horses in single figures. He's not one of them.
No. Well, there's only one, I think. One and Divine Prophet's just single figures.
I'll be astonished if Attention doesn't start single figures. So he's certainly one I'm interested in. Divine Prophet went around behind Blackheart Bart in the previous race, the 2 weeks prior, and it was very evident that was not. That was a barrier trial for that horse.
Yeah,
he was there to build his fitness.
Yeah.
So, obviously you'd be keener on him here if he was third up, or but he wasn't fair income there, and he's fair income here, and he's a Caulfield Guineas winner. So. Again, he's out near double figures. That's an attractive price. Then there's a lot of horses that could do something here. The punters will have to sort of look through here. You want to try and find horses with some stamina, because they're going to have natural stamina, because none of them have got a great preparation for this situation. So a horse that does attract my attention a little bit at massive odds, Juppy, is Anaheim. He's coming off a terrific run at Sandown. Not sure who that was behind, I can't remember. But he ran really well first up there at Sandown, and he's a Flemington winner, and he's better than 50 to 1. So I think he's an interesting runner here. So, but you know, some of these.
Dusty Jack won that race.
Dusty Jack. Yeah, you remember well behind Dusty Jack. He was steaming home. So he's got natural stamina. He won an 1800 metre race over the carnival at Flemington, I think, from memory. And yeah, so other run, prized Icon, I just can't really get a handle on that horse. I'm just not sure about him. I haven't gone and looked at all his Sydney runs yet, so just not sure where he's at. Harlow Gold's a filly I really like, and I like the first up run. Just would like to sooner have a 1600 under a belt, but I can say that about a lot of them. Like I said, the Answer My Friend would be very interesting if he gets a run. Furyk is now, unfortunately, she missed the run last week. She would have backed up in this. Just she would have been a good chance if she had a run last week. Yeah. She would have won. And yeah, so David Hayes confident that he can overcome that hurdle, but it just seems difficult now. She's stepping up from 1200. So, but she's
don't tear me ticket up, Pods.
Don't tear your ticket up. Land of Plenty will run well. He's a really honest horse.
Yeah.
Graham Begg's good at the third up 1600. He's got a history of that.
Yeah.
And you know, Doncasters and Epsoms, and he's won a lot of them. So Land of Plenty would not surprise me here at all. Inside Agent, I'm not sure about him just yet. He's getting there. Capable. So Sibon, he's only got the 1200 metre run under his belt. So you know, but he's got natural stamina. So, and Morton's Fork looks to be battling a bit to me. Oak Door. Well, Oak Door's he's the fit horse here.
Yeah, because and he just keeps winning.
And if the inside does happen to be an advantage,
yeah, he might just lead all like he did at Caulfield almost.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's like $40 or something, Oak Door. And
yeah,
you know,
that seems big odds to me for a fit horse.
I'm saying Attention's a horse here I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
And he, you know, Oak Door's coming off a victory over Attention, so yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't just be penning Oak Door without giving him some serious thought at those odds. You know, really big odds.
Really interesting race.
Very
once you sort of dig into it.
Yeah.
Race 8 Pots is the Professor Roy Higgins Quality. It's always a decent race. Staying race over 2600. Moonquith $14. Big Memory 6. Northwest Passage 460. The Little Engine 8. Cadillac Mountains 8. Anis Mirabilis is 7. Kiss your ass the rest.
Yeah, I've still got to go and research Dara Bard because I haven't looked at his first up from somewhere, France or something. So got to go and have a look at his replays and try and work out where he fits in on the map. But
he ran in the Pre-Nell at Group 2 over 2400 at Chantilly. And before that he ran in a 2400 metre, he won a 2400 metre listed race at Clairefontaine.
Yeah, so I've got no idea where he fits in at this stage, but I'll have a good look at him tomorrow. So him aside, Northwest Passage and Murgedale will be up front. I suppose Anis Mirabilis will come over behind them with Dandy Jen. Big Memory next, so I'll probably run along at a pretty solid tempo. They're not my favourite races, these 2600 metre races. I don't always get them right. The horse that grabs my attention here is Anis Mirabilis. He just seems to be in really good form. My only concern is he's going to the Adelaide Cup, and this might just be the tune-up, you know. So they obviously want him to run well, but whether he's 100% for this race. But anyway, I think he's, you know, he's $7. I think that's a nice price. So certainly be interested in that. The horse is coming out of that Moonee Valley race. Wow, that was a slowly run race at Northwest Passage 1.
Yeah.
So I would be more interested in the SPs from that race than the finishing positions. So yeah, I suppose Northwest Passage, a 3-year-old, fit, Gay Waterhouse, hard to knock, but I couldn't possibly take 460. So Big Memories, a long time since he's won a race.
He's just he seems to find one better. What about our Moonquith, Potts? He's always had ability, but...
Well, I had a tiny bet on him last week, just on spec, because he trialled so well, like best I've ever seen him. So I think the horse is in really good health.
Yeah.
But he's only had that one run under his belt, and here he is 7 days later at 2600. So, like, hard to back with confidence, but I think he's in for a good prep, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him run well, and he's certainly capable of winning. So, yeah, I just... You know, no confidence here, Juppy, but yeah.
It's typical staying race with
the
usual suspects, and as you say, I think a few of these might make their way to the Adelaide Cup.
Yeah, there's not any other runner in the race. We've mentioned the ones I'm interested in. I can understand people will make a case for Cadillac Mountain, I suppose, but he's
leave me out of here.
Yeah. It's one of those projects. We're trying to get him back from a long break, and the little engines just found his mark. He always seems to be running on behind him.
Well, there's two horses that I think the market will tell the tale a bit with, won't they, in Cadillac Mountain and to Little Engine.
Yeah, yep.
Especially with the camps, like if the money's there, they normally turn up.
Yep, that's true.
Well, that'll just about do us for this week, punters. We'll be back probably Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have a special guest with us, and make sure you head to One to Follow. Remember, NRL kicks off tonight, so make sure you sign up to get Brandon Richards' season package. And also you can grab the Punters Plays, because there's a heap of good racing coming up, Potts. I'm as busy as a one-armed bricklayer in Baghdad. I'm off to the Cranbourne Cup tomorrow night, where I would just be lobbying the committee to name the jump-out horses. I'm off to Alexandra Picnics, but they're also at Bairnsdale and, of course, here on Saturday. And then I'm off to the Wangaratta Cup on Sunday. So there's a heap of good races. So make sure you head to One to Follow, sign up, and grab Punters Plays, which is the SMS service. So you'll even they still get sent out on a Saturday too. So you normally get the sort of the high confidence races, aren't they, Potts? The ones that you're really keen on.
Either the races I'm really keen on, or the ones where I think there's the most value. You know? It's one of those two things.
That's how the Punters Play service works all week. So so you can go there and sign up for that. That's a great product. Or you can go there and get the full sets, and the amount of detail Potts puts into them is probably market leading, I'd imagine. Well, I don't imagine, I know. That it's market leading with the amount of detail that goes into those previews. So make sure you head to One to Follow and grab that. And as I said, we'll be back on Tuesday.
We keep a good track of how the betting plan's going, Juppy, like whether it's in profit or not. So so far this year, we're only in 2 months in, but we're just on 5% profit on turnover. But one of the aims of the set is for the readers to be able to get value over and above that. You know what I mean? Like the betting plan's done at 9 o'clock in the morning. As they're watching things unfold in the day, there's information there that they might be able to add horses to the betting play or change things slightly or whatever they want to do, and hopefully that's just the basis, and they can improve the result from there, whether it's by taking really good prices or finding something additional.
Well, as some of you may know, like I know quite a few of the subscribers, Potts, as you do too. And I don't think there's two of us that handle it the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
I get your stuff and I handle it differently to how you handle it, and then you've got some other guys there that are completely different, and like it's all to do with your circumstances too. Like I can't sit there all day as much as I'd like to watching it because, as I said, I'm knee deep doing what I'm doing. So make sure you head to One to Follow and grab it, and we'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully with a guest, because everyone's thoroughly sick of after today, Potts. They'll be thoroughly sick of you and I. Hopefully the wind's drowned us out. But